like it's still going to be windy down here. Hopefully my tripod cannot blow over, and hopefully you all,
Hey, I'm Maddie. Right now I live in a minivan and I'm on a quest to go to all 50 states to go on an outdoor adventure and drink a local beer. Come join me in Kansas.
so flat, so huge. It kind of reminds me of Indiana and Illinois, how you would just look out as you were driving and the world would go on forever and ever. And we're at something I had only heard of. It looks super awesome in pictures, a place called Castle Rock. Let me show ya. I think that road might have done in my plant. I don't know if it'll survive now because it's got its main roots disconnected. So I don't really remember how I heard of this place. I think someone in a comment on a video or something recommended it and I wrote it down. But to be honest with you, I was expecting it to be a little different. I thought it would be more like a whole area to explore, but it appears it's just this rock formation. Not really what I was expecting, but it's still very cool. And let's see what's off in the distance there. I'm really surprised that there's yuccas here. I thought that was just a southwestern desert kind of plant, which is surprising. And it looks like this tree is a juniper. There's not a lot of plant diversity out here, which I think is really interesting because when I was in a prairie in Illinois, it seemed like they had such a variety of plants that you would never notice until you walked through the prairie. After walking down from the rock formation, now I'm standing by this little rock. It's not Castle Rock itself, which is over there, but this, I don't know, outcrop. This rock that's standing on its own, and just look at the texture of this rock. It's really crumbly. It reminds me of the rock I saw in Rhode Island that looked like the pages of a book. Really wafery, it was crumbly. This looks like a little more solid, a little more thicker pages, if you will. Sounds a little hollow. Now, even though I've been to Bryce Canyon and icy slip-by wilderness, I haven't learned the technical definition of a hoodoo. I think it's a standalone rock formation. There might be a caveat that it has something that's wider or heavier on top, as opposed to just a normal straight up and down column. But I think these count as them. moment, you know? For dinner tonight, I made a nice broccoli cheddar soup from Progresso, straight out of the can. Very uninvolved, very unnutritious, but you know, I'm living on a very limited budget these days, so hopefully when I have more money, I'll have a little nicer food to share with you. I'm drinking a beer from Colorado, from State Brewing. This is Rookie Guide. It is a hazy pale ale, but you're probably like, Maddie, why aren't you having a Kansas beer? That's totally against your mission. Well, I actually went to 3 places today to look for beer. The gas stations I went to, they didn't have anything from Kansas itself. So I'll just have to do that another day. I'm on my way out now. I've had enough exploring for the day, but if anyone else comes here, Castle Rock, Kansas, know that the first formation you see with the 3 little things sticking up, the 3 columns, that's not all. Like, I really should have explored back here more, but I just didn't. No, there was more to it besides the standalone rock formation in the cliff edge. When I first woke up, I was like, wow, it is so warm. I got to crack the windows last night, took off my sweatshirt in the night, but now the wind's starting to blow, so gonna use my new blanket that I got. This is from Get Out Gear. Okay, now the one thing I don't like about it is it doesn't have anything on this part to hold as you pull it in. Okay, that time it worked. One time I was doing this in the dark and I couldn't get a grasp on it. I was really on the fence between this and the teal color, but I'm really glad I went with this. I think it matches my everything I own more. But it's really warm. It's water resistant, where water will bead up if you spill things a lot like me. You can put it in your sleeping bag when you're backpacking for some extra warmth, which I definitely want to try. I'm usually so cold. And they really know their audience, because I was just going to wear it like this and sit drinking my coffee, but then I realized they knew I was going to do that. And they made snaps, so you can wear it as a poncho. I'm already so warm. I did, when I was in Wisconsin, so almost a whole year ago, I saw someone with an outdoor blanket, and I was like, why don't you just use an old blanket from your house? Like, sometimes I feel like the more time goes, the more products we have that we don't really need, and like, why not just buy or take a blanket you don't really care about camping instead of buying a whole new one. But this is like wind resistant, water resistant. It's packable. Did you see how small it was? So I have reformed my anti-outdoor blanket ways. Thank you to Get Out Gear for showing me the error of my ways. This is so fun. Oh, shoot. Oh, I just spilled water, don't worry. So I guess I haven't really introduced where we are yet, We are at Elk Creek Trail. All the trees are like that perfect spring green, and I am so glad to be back in the east with the deciduous trees for spring. I don't know why spring isn't as big of a deal as fall. Like fall, I get it, the trees are pretty, there's seasonal drinks, you know, there's Halloween, which is really fun, but spring, the trees are really pretty again, plus there's flowers, and I'm so glad I get to be here for it. Over the past couple days between Castle Rock and here, I spent maybe 4 days in Lawrence, Kansas, visiting my friend at University of Kansas, where I got this shirt, obviously. KU was great. Now I am looking forward to the beautiful Elk Creek Trail today. So here's where we are, I'm assuming. For a second there I was like, what are these numbers supposed to be? But it's a 15-mile trail. There's 15 miles. What do you think those numbers are there for, Maddie? But anyway, I decided to go this way so I can see the lake maybe. Have you ever seen a friend at a place where you didn't expect them to be, and you go up and you're like, what are you doing here? Well, that is exactly how I feel now because of this guy right here. A very dried out looking. I guess all cactuses are dried out. That's why I kind of paused in the middle of saying that. I mean, the pads are super, what's it called? Narrow, not juicy looking. They look like a reptile's skin. So, interesting. I did not expect there to be a cactus here. That was deer. I couldn't get a good visual on them, but just so you know, there were deer here. Look what we have here, a mossy creek. Well, if it's growing in the water instead of rock, is it still moss? What made that noise? Probably a little frog that's too small to see from here, but anyway, cool. Whoa! Just kidding. Just trying to make things interesting for ya. I think around here is gonna be a good place to stop and eat, but I have to find some place that's like has a rock or a log or something I can sit on. Also, these flowers are making everything smell amazing. So good. I'm back on the trail after eating lunch. I was about to say the wind hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be, but never mind. Kind of an inopportune time to say that, huh? We made it back. That was a good hike. The word pleasant comes to mind. So pleasant with the flowers and the trees. I did see another deer, but I didn't get to take a picture of it, take video of it, I mean. The overlook I was thinking of turned out to be some place you had to hike up a little hill to, and I really wanted a place where I could sit in the trunk of my car and look out. Also, it was crazy windy. I could barely open my door, it was so windy. So I came down here, just down the hill from where I was, and there is a cute view of a river. It seems like it's still going to be a little windy, so hopefully you can just bear with me, but I'm really excited to show you the beer of the state that I got. Back when I was still in Lawrence at KU, I just typed in breweries near me, and this one had state in the name, so that's why I chose it. Free State Brewing Ad Astra Amber Ale. It's one of the first beers, or the first beer they started brewing originally. Ad Astra is part of the state motto, which I forget the exact wording, but it means like going to the stars even though you're struggling. I struggle all the time. I love stars. Perfect beer for me. Beautiful can art. I'm excited to try. It tastes like a dark beer. Tastes kind of heavy, full-bodied, dark, a little bit of sweetness. I want to say like a malty flavor, maybe even chocolate or plum. That's what I taste anyway. Thank you so much for watching this, and thank you to Get Out gear from my new blanket. But for now, I have to leave here and head to Tulsa. That's right, my next video is coming from Oklahoma. See you then.